mercy because I felt like pulling your beetle for 2 days.
That will roll.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna smell it.
It's getting hot.
Yeah.
You really do know how to set that fire.
What's that?
That?
Right, I'll just fit my chair in the
Yeah.
truck to do
You
that.
just put some gas on there and then roll it out.
It does not sound like fire season.
I want to comment before the meeting starts about the code enforcement position. Paula Bell can't create a position or change the parameters of the position without council approval. And Adams County does not listen to code enforcement issues, so the code enforcer couldn't write tickets. They have to write a letter to the residents, which Jamie Schmunk and I did without any charge to the town because it's part of the mayor's job. So creating a code enforcement position to get out of doing your job, I think, is an expense that the town does not need. And I'm saying it before the meeting because you don't let people talk.
Bless you.
This is February 8th, town council meeting of the town of Lynn.
I can't help it.
It's that damn cool.
I find it.
Oh, okay.
You probably have
I
COVID.
forget allergies.
Okay, I've got 7 o'clock and, I would like to, ask that all your phones be turned off and that, masks are required. Mr. Dorshak, before we get started here, Mr. Dorshak has a medical reason for being absent, so are there any objections for excusing his absence? Okay, so hearing none, we have a quorum. Call this, meeting to order. We do have a quorum, pledge of allegiance, and then we will approve the minutes. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, council. Approval of January 25th, regular council meeting minutes.
Has everybody had a chance to look at it?
Yep.
If so, I make the motion that we accept them as read.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve January 25th, 2022, regular, council meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Right?
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, with no unfinished business listed, I'm going to move to new business, and Vicky Thatcher is.
off the bat?
Yes, you are first. She is, going to be very informative with her knowledge of, a business that she
Yeah.
had.
Okay, I don't really wanna stand up, but for 8 years I ran a company called Lay Scoops Pet Waste Removal Services, and yes, I was a pooper scooper. And I walk my dogs every day here. And I go, they're Chihuahuas, so we don't go very far. We go basically around the block. Tonight, I went around my block and I took 22 pictures of dog shit, all around that one block. And there's just some pictures here that I'd like to share with the council of dog crap. My dogs sitting around the dog crap.
Man, you're gonna have to quit feeding them so much.
Okay. And I don't know if any of you guys know, but I put this PowerPoint together for the council. But dog poop is extremely dangerous to human beings. You may not know that, but it is. It comes in on their feet, into your house where your babies are crawling, where your dogs are crawling, where you might be laying down watching television. And I'm asking the council to consider writing an ordinance or a regulation of some sort so that we can find these people that are not picking up their dog crap.
There is one already in our books.
So anyway, there are some things in the second page that you can get from your dog poop. Giardia, had it, horrible, almost ended up in the hospital. Coccidia, had it, horrible, almost ended up in the hospital. And it goes on and on and on with things. And some of these bacteria can live on the ground for 4 or more years. 4 or more years, this stuff, without being picked up, can spread that kind of bacteria to the community. And with the state of the water here, if you leave that stuff on the ground, like my next door neighbor, his entire front yard is nothing but crap. I've got some pictures, but it's nothing but crap. And that stuff stinks, but it's also a health hazard. There's kids that walk by that yard, and all you have to do, it's like COVID, you breathe it in, you got it. And the drier the poop is, the more likely it is to catch air and get up your nose. So there's tons of bacteria. Why should you care? Because it carries parasites, bacteria, pathogens, and it can give you roundworms, E. coli. It gets in your food, your water, and think about how often you use your backyards and lawns and imagine what microscopic beasts could be proliferating there if you don't pick up your dog poop. Okay, one of the common culprits associated with dog poop is fecal chloroform bacteria. Okay, it gets in your water and it poses a direct health risk to people. Okay, these things are waterborne and they can kill. One study showed that one dog not being picked up shut down a 15-acre shellfish bed in Thurston County. One dog not being picked up. And this stuff is getting in the fish that you eat locally, the vegetables that you eat locally, and it's disgusting. I walk this town almost every day and it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. I put together this stuff for you guys mainly to read so that you can try to make some sort of decision. Because if you walk the streets of this town, I guarantee you every street has at least 20 piles on it. I guarantee it because I've walked it. Okay? So mainly I did this report for you guys. But one of the reasons why we have trouble with dog poop in cities and towns versus, because a lot of people will say, well, what about the wolves and the coyotes? They don't do anything. Yeah, but they're not living on top of one another. Our dogs are living on top of one another, okay? So you imagine there are 89.7 million dogs in the United States. Okay, on average, a dog excretes between 1/2 and 3/4 pounds of waste per day, okay? And 1 gram of that contains 23 million chloroform bacteria. So imagine how much that crap is laying all around this town. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And your kids are walking around, your dogs are walking around, your goats and sheep and chickens are all walking around breathing in this air as well as us. It's not cool, okay? 60% of people will pick up, but mostly, especially in towns that are ignorant to this stuff, they don't pick up. My parents didn't. I didn't until I learned and started getting my business going and learned how sick you can get from it. Okay? Obviously, I already said it kills fishies, which it does. It'll lead, especially in this area versus the west side, Over here, it'll cause algae in the lakes that will eventually kill the fish in the lake as well. Okay? It's pretty simple what we can do. Pick up. Those little bags, one of the main reasons why people don't pick up is because they don't have the little bags. Those little bags are so cheap on Amazon. You can buy a huge big box of them for like $40. I would buy it and bring it to the town and let it sit here for people to come get free. Because I am tired of walking around and seeing all this stuff on the ground. It's disgusting. Especially my next door neighbor. Okay? One of the things that you might consider doing are these guys. Maybe just a couple. Okay? They're not that expensive. And the bags are not that expensive. I've put them in myself. And if people have a notice that says, hey, you're gonna get fined $500 if you don't pick up after your dog. If someone sees you, you know, it's so bad over on the west side that apartment complexes now have DNA testing. Your dog, in order to get a lease on the west side, your dog has to go through DNA testing, okay? So if they find feces on the ground at the apartment complex, they will have it DNA tested, and if it comes back to your dog, you are fined, and you can be evicted for it.
That's why I don't do them either.
Okay? But again, I want us to have a clean community. I want us to have a healthy community, okay? And this is just my neighbor's yard. This is in one, I mean, just maybe this much space. And there's probably, I don't know, 7 piles there in one spot. So what I'm asking the council is to consider thinking about, if you're gonna clean up the town with all the big stuff, maybe start with the little stuff as well and clean up this dog crap that's all over the place. So, does anybody have any questions for me? I would be willing, even though I'm old and crippled, if somebody has a yard that they can't get to, I would go clean it up for them. I wouldn't charge them for it. I would just clean it up because I'm tired of walking by and seeing full yards full of dog crap. Full. I'd leave the garbage for them. I'm not gonna take the garbage away. Okay? All it does is go in a bag and in your garbage can. It's not that difficult. There's a lot right behind, across the street, right behind Richard's place. There's a lot there. Someone's been dumping piles of dog poop there. There's one there sitting there now that's this tall, probably about that big around. Nothing but dog poop. Just sitting there. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if there's a rat problem in this town because I haven't lived here long enough, but the #1 attractant for rats is dog poop. So, if you want that stuff gone in this town, somebody has to do something about the little things like dog crap. And I mean, around my area, there's 2, 4, let's see, 8, I don't know how many they have. I think they've got 4 or 5. You know, there's just in my 4 little houses, there's like 5 to 10 dogs in there. Can you imagine how much poop is there?
I can imagine how much parking is there.
Where, what area?
I clean up after mine. Okay. Well, there's 2. I have 2, 4. I think they've got 4 or 5, 3. And that's just those houses. And so, and I don't know if everybody cleans up, but we got to do something about it. It's disgusting. And it's a health hazard. It's not just because I'm pissed off about dog crap. Okay? It's a health hazard. I got enough problems. Everybody here has enough problems with worrying about COVID. Okay? You don't want to breathe this stuff in. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to do it. I almost died from it. It's not a good thing. So I'm asking just maybe to decide something, even if it's an executive, whatever you guys do, I don't know. But something has to be done where people are held accountable for their dog crap. And if that means supplying bags for them, then I would supply that for you. I mean, I would do as much as I could and much as I could afford. You know, and I'll help clean up if there's a problem. I'll do it. I know how to do it. I have the tools. I did for 8 years.
Well,
So
you started my daughters because there's tons of it there. There's a truckload.
I just picked it all up.
Laura, come on now.
I
Come
hate
on.
dogs.
I do have information for you.
She
She
does
doesn't.
have side
Oh.
comments
So
there.
anyway, I appreciate your ears and listening, and I've been to enough council meetings where I know that you guys are trying really hard to clean up the town and do things right, and, you know, make changes, and this is simple. This one's a simple one. All we gotta do is educate people. Not everybody's gonna do it, some people are gonna do that no matter what you do, right? Some people are just gonna say, screw you, F off, whatever, right? But if we can at least reach some, it's gonna help, I think, especially on the walks, you know? I like to walk, I try to walk every day, and I don't wanna step in dog shit, I don't wanna have my dog sniff up parvo, I don't want that. I don't think anybody does, you know, so I would just appreciate if you guys would consider a change.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, you were wanting to, focus in on the nuisance, the dog ordinance. Would you be willing to take some of your time, weekend time maybe, and visit with Vicki and, work out, because the ordinance does say that the owner does have to clean up their yards, and maybe,
Maybe we add the fine. I mean, there is a study online, I could try to get it for you, I could send it to the clerk, and there's a study online that a gal did in Raleigh, except in North Carolina, and she basically said that if you tell people with signage, hey, you're gonna get fined if anybody catches you, there's a better chance that people won't do it. Now, I don't know if that's the way it is over here, but I'm a law-abiding citizen. If someone says to me that I'm gonna get fined $500, cause I like my money, okay, I like it. I like Amazon, so I like to spend my money there and not on a fine because I didn't pick up my dog poop.
right,
So if there's a sign somewhere or everywhere, you know, that says, hey, pick it up. It's not that big a deal, and those bags are not that expensive.
Even if we just started, let's say the parks in town for, at least start there, I
Yeah.
think would be
Well,
a good idea.
there are signs, no dogs in the park.
Yeah, but
Or keep your
who's
dogs
gonna
off
let
the grass, and
Oh,
we do, have a problem with, people sneaking them in or whatever,
Right. And think about
it's-
that, those kids are there.
Yeah.
And if that stuff doesn't get picked up and the kids are rolling around in that grass in the summertime,
Right.
it's coming home.
especially the Easter egg on it.
Yeah, it's coming home. It may not make you sick, but it's coming with them.
Say,
Yeah, so
Just saying.
with the, existing ordinance that you wanna work
Yes.
with, we can make some time with you and Vicki and go from there, so.
okay.
Only if beer's involved. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I don't even drink.
No comment.
I do have information.
I don't even drink.
Me neither.
There's a hand up in the audience there.
Yes, we do have an ordinance already on the books that says if you're caught walking your dog without a bag, that you can be fined. And Jamie and I sent letters out to people who had too much dog stuff in their backyards, and they had to take care of it or be fined, so that's already in our ordinance.
Yes, that's what I just got through
How
saying.
many did know in this town, I don't know if you knew, Vicky, that dogs are required by Washington state law to have a rabies shot?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, and no one in town have got one, I don't think.
no, they.
My dogs
they
are.
do. They do.
Stay minor.
They do. Okay, so, we'll work up a time schedule
Yep.
for you guys to do that.
and again, I volunteer my time and energy to clean up yards that need it.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah, it's just a matter of, changing habits, I think, too.
it is, you know, and knowing
Yeah,
what they've got. It's
Yeah.
gross.
that's, well, thank you for your, expertise there.
I don't know what that was.
Training for the clerk, next item of the, agenda. I'm gonna turn the table to Barbara.
I'm asking for permission to do a webinar series for annual financial reporting. It is an MRSC training. It is a 4-day, training, webinar, 2 hours a day, webinar to do the financial reporting, which is required by law. The cost is $140, so it is in the budget, for clerk training. And I'm asking permission from the council to sign up for the training class.
Seriously?
Yes.
Let's see if we could swing it, I guess.
I make a motion that we allow it.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and seconded to, allow the $140 fee, is that what you said? For, Barbara to do the, training for the, fiscal, end of the year type, everything all rolled into one. So all in favor say aye for that spending,
Alright,
and any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Alright, moving on with mayor's report, please look at the resolution. It's a white sheet of paper and it says resolution 22. Oh, it's green, sorry. Alright, mine's white.
Do you
It's
have an extra copy of that?
2201, but really it should be 2202. And it's just a draft at this point. Mr. Dorshak had requested, a draft of what it would look like for the late charges and dates commencing. So we can hang on to that till next meeting. Do I have any preliminary questions or?
What is
Anything.
2202 pertaining to, please?
Late charges and dates commencing for the late charges.
Charges on what?
your utility bills and stuff.
Utilities,
Should be-
utility late fees, sorry. And, before, right now, it's, the $5, and it was proposed to up it to $10 and have the, date be within 20 days, and the late charges start at the 21st day. That's the paragraphs that are, being changed, or being added. So, that's just a draft for you to consider. And I think that, you were presented with the utility paragraphs out of the ordinance, last meeting, so that's what's the changes. Okay, just a draft at this point. Okay, does not mean that it's a go,
Right,
it's up to you, guys.
yeah.
Okay. The public hearing notices are the yellow sheets. The, public hearing at 7 o'clock on the 15th is for the critical areas ordinance adoption. The purpose of that hearing is to review final project performance on the drinking water source study that's funded by CDBG, which stands for Community Development Block Grants. At 7:15, and that time may adjust, public notice for, SEPA, and it's for non-projects threshold determination of non-significance. The purpose of that public hearing is to review the SEPA process for the adoption of ordinance 2201, which will complete the periodic update required by RCW 36.770A.130.
Who's gonna be presenting it?
Mr. Nelson, our engineer. And the, ordinance is, I don't know, did you,
Sorry, am I supposed to pass these out?
do that? Yeah, please pass those out. That right there is, sorry, a copy.
Well, they're big ones.
Yeah, that's
Since I don't know where you.
1900 pages. And I don't know.
Yeah, I'll
when the
read
last
that, give me a
one was
minute.
done. I found 08,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so fast I don't remember what it said.
It sounds familiar.
but it's supposed, guys, it's supposed to be done every 8 years, updates. So the last one that I found was in 2008, so we're kinda overdue, I guess.
I think we did a lot of them for projects. Not sure if we did a second one.
Oh, it's within the project, okay. Okay. Alright, so that is your homework, I guess, for the next, the 15th, next Tuesday meetings.
Only have a week to read that?
Yeah, you got a week. You got a week.
You don't have to sleep, do you?
Apparently I don't need to work either.
We need to take a break.
Right.
Okay, the lanterns, Monday, the weather finally cooperated enough for us to get the lanterns down. The string lights along are gonna stay on until the end of February. So, yeah, it's kinda nice to have the streets lit up.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Dog license, we're up to 90 now, or 90, no, 70.
71.
71, okay. I was wrong all the way
I'm
around.
sure everybody's bought them.
Yeah. And March 1st is the fines, or the licenses double. So if you have not done your licensing of your dogs, do it before March 1st. February 4th, which was this last Friday, Mr. Nelson met with Adams County engineers to talk about the Quail Loop up there at Clarence and Vulcan and the 8th Street paving project. And the day before, the Adams County engineer, Scott Yeager, let us know that TIB, which stands for Transportation Improvement Project, or board, sorry, thanks for correction. They're doing a pilot program, or pilot project, and guess who might be a really good candidate for that? And so that Scott is trying to see if Lynn can be part of that, pilot, where the, TIB would pay for most of it, all of it.
For them to do what? For the county to do the work?
Yeah, Quail Run, they named it, or nicknamed it Quail Run.
Who did?
It's Vulcan, Steve Nelson,
Oh,
the engineer.
okay.
Vulcan, is it Iowa? And then Clarence, and then Florence. And then from that square, then all the way to N Street. And then, of course, the 8th Street is I,
To
8, S, and then that little, I don't know, is that N or L?
L.
L.
So I asked at one of the other meetings if they were gonna do those short parts, cause,
Uh-huh.
so that did get approved to do the short
It
parts
was on
up to
the
the
it
pavement?
was on the map.
Okay,
I don't know about to the pavement, but it was on the map.
why wouldn't it be to the pavement on Seventh?
Well, I don't know what's your pavement, what's your definition of pavement? You know, it's that 7,
Yeah.
that pavement?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I understand.
Okay.
I have a question. What about, I was here last meeting when we talked about, when you guys talked about, the piping underneath, the water pipes and stuff, because they need repaired. Will this go in before you get to the pipe?
That's what we are,
Or are they willing to help support the pipe part
no,
of it?
that's what we're trying to wait on
Yeah,
TIB
okay.
to say, okay, let's not do and then dig up and then do again. So that's what we're,
So TIB has a say in that?
yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
So, last time it was just like a seal coat or something they were gonna do over the gravel?
Mm-hmm.
Is that still correct? Okay, so it's not pavement.
It's not pavement, and I don't know what the initials that they throw out, it's,
There's so many.
yeah, but it's not asphalt, I know it's not asphalt.
No, they're just gonna seal coat it.
Yeah. Okay. So the water line replacement is still the desired first to do,
Right.
but in order to get it all in all one project, we have to wait, of course. Okay, water shut-off notices are getting ready to be sent out. 60 days is the starting point, is that correct? Yes, okay, so 60 days behind time, shut-off notices. Door knockers, letters will go out first. If you are extremely behind, then there's a payment plan that's available. Just have to call the office and talk with Barbara. The speed signs, remember when Sheriff Wagner came and said something about the speed signs there at the beginning of 21, there at the park, or community garden area, and then there at 21 at the Union Elevator, or CGI's spot there. The signs are here, they've been delivered, we have to put them together, and then we have to install, and we're waiting for the posts. The posts have to be certain 6 by 6, the holes in it for safety and all that, so.
What sign?
Driving your,
Their speed
Your
limit
speed-
Are
signs,
they
the flash
changing
at
it?
you.
Are they changing the
flashing
speed limit?
Yeah, they're the safe,
Oh,
the
they're
safety
flashers?
speed limit.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
cool.
flashers.
Are they
Yeah,
the
we're moving
solar ones?
uptown.
yes,
Okay.
and battery,
I'm so excited.
yeah.
So do those, are they putting steel posts in for those, or are they 6 by 6 wood posts?
I think it says wood.
I'm assuming, are they gonna put them in concrete?
We have
The
to
base?
we have to do it. So there's all kinds of instructions that we haven't got to, because we haven't opened the box yet to actually put
Okay,
it
I'll
all
quit
together.
asking questions.
So, no, because the thing is Washtutna
Mm-hmm.
already have theirs up, right? So we're going to be working with them to ease our pain. on
Yeah.
that.
Good idea.
Yeah, don't need to reinvent the wheel there. Okay, so that's the end of my little blurb. Finance committee, Pat?
I make a motion that we pay the warrants from January 25th, 2022 to 2/7/2022 in the amount of $36,833.98.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the warrant check register, January 25th to February 7th of 2022 for $36,833.98. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right?
And any opposed? Motion carries.
Please sign and pass it down.
Yeah, I actually stopped by and looked at that today. This?
I would like to make a motion to pay the pending invoices from 1/24/2022 to 2/2/2022 in the amount of $15,345.30.
I'll second that.
Okay, did I hear your dates right? January 24th, 22
1/24.
to February 2nd?
Mhm.
Okay, I had a different date. All right, so a motion's been made to pay the pendings of January 24th to February 2nd of 2022 in the dollar amount, $15,345.30. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right?
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, comments and concerns from the council. Laura, you're up.
I actually do have you guys ever looked into getting a credit debit card machine for people to pay their water bills on? And we don't because
We still have to go to the bank for cash, to take cash. The charge, I can't remember what, Columbia Bank said, but there's a charge for us. We could pass it on to the customers that want to use their cards. That's an option.
I was gonna say, cause I know there's a percentage fee that the customers would pay,
Right.
but I feel like a town could definitely benefit from that. You know, 21st century, not many people carry cash.
Oh, you'd be surprised how much cash that we get.
Some people don't even know how to write a check, an
Yeah,
actual
a
check.
lot of people don't have
Nowadays.
checkbooks.
And some people get angry because people
Okay,
do write
okay.
checks.
I just feel like the town could strongly benefit from it.
Okay, so credit card, we can, contact the bank and have them present their, program next meeting. Okay,
I like that idea.
okay, credit card, you want debit, credit card?
Yeah.
Okay,
You know, I was thinking if we have credit card, then it might eliminate some late fees. People might start paying their bills because they can run it on their credit card.
right, that is true. That is true.
Then you could set up auto pay.
Yes, that was, yeah.
Well, we get a lot of those too, so.
I have information on that too. Odessa just did it
I
and there's no
recognize you?
charge to the town.
Okay,
So I would recommend calling Odessa and find out which company they used. It was very simple to put in. And you can take their credit card information over the phone or they can do it online themselves.
okay,
Very
Thank you.
simple and it was totally free to the town. There was a charge to the customer.
alright, Myra, do you have anything?
I don't.
Michael, do you have anything?
You know, not today. Next time.
Next time?
Yep.
Okay, Mr.
Okay.
Du.
I'd like to make a motion to remove the code enforcer position.
Say that again.
I would like to make a motion to remove the code enforcer position.
Okay, not hearing a
So
second?
what you're saying is you don't think we need it at all, is what you're saying?
We definitely don't need them. Like I showed you that letter, if the council would have acted on it, the old council, which they did not, and my last job as code enforcer, it wasn't acted on. The
Right,
council-
but it's a different council now, is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, and I
so
mean, the cost
not everything's
also,
gonna stay the same.
it's 17,000 something a year. You know, can the town afford that?
It's in the
I
budget,
mean,
it's
that's,
been in the budget for a couple of years, yeah.
That's 20 hours a week, I believe it said on there.
Are you going off of the old one was that?
No, this
The
is
wage?
This is the, where do I put it? What was this one? Did you
I think
read
we
it?
should just table that and
Oh, yeah,
discuss
first
it
we'll
more.
table that.
Okay. Table that, conversation. So,
The other one is, I know Jim's not here, but he was asking me, a new council member, about the ordinance on scrap vehicles and what we can and what we can't do. I have them all written out here, what the town is capable of achieving without the code enforcement. It's all in there, and this is Washington state law.
okay, so Washington state law,
Yes.
okay,
Do you wish the RCW numbers?
Yep.
Okay, the first one is RCW 4655240. Then the next is junk vehicle is defined so the RCW 4655010.
Okay,
The other one is also RCW 4655-240, which corresponds with 4655-230.
230.
Yes,
okay.
and that will, I mean, that's Washington state ordinances, that is all we need. You know, I mean, I went into it in details, didn't I? But in my eyes, a council member that's had the experience that Jim has should have known the ordinances. Not answered a new council member to sort it out. You see what I'm saying? That experience was there. It should have been acted on. It should have been acted on a long time ago. As simple as that. Me getting on, doing a bit of research, I found out these ordinances.
Okay.
Simple.
Just so that you know, we have always contacted the sheriff's department,
Mm-hmm.
and the sheriff's department has given us all these, forms that we have to fill out to make sure that everything's legal so that they can do what they need to do. And it's pretty much left in their hands. And I have only had 2 vehicles that actually went through and was disposed of.
Okay.
But it was only because the vehicles were on someone's private property.
And there's a thing in this ordinance where it says nuisance vehicles. No tires, no wheels, broken glass, on public land, even on private land, you'll see that in there if you check up on the ordinances, can be deemed as a nuisance by the town removed. Not necessarily with sheriff's involvement. Now, I know this firsthand because I talked to David Cormick down in Richville. He said a lot of the office just can't be bothered to do the paperwork.
Oh, I can't.
You know, that's, the town is capable to carry out these on their own.
Well, London, you got rid of the white
we're
van
not
on your
doing
own, right?
conversation.
Yeah, I mean, that gone, but you know, I mean, that's a simple thing, I mean, the ordinance say so. Why hasn't that been done for years? Why is it all allowed to accumulate more and more and more every month? The town is going like this,
Okay.
even with, you know, what you're saying
I
about the
don't
dog food
disagree
thing,
with you.
you know,
I
that's,
don't disagree with you, but there are some things that you have to, be tied up with
I
when you're
understand that, yes.
talking with the sheriff's department and actually the tow truck people. They won't touch it unless you have the proper documents and all
I
that.
can bring a fella in who will remove them without titles.
Okay,
Once
let's-
they're deemed unfit and a nuisance, he will come in, he will take more. In fact, he'll even pay the town some percentage.
Okay, can you give me his name?
Not offhand, I have it on my computer. But I
Okay.
mean, I've gone to this in detail, you know, you
Okay.
can't go to war with your gun empty.
Right, that would be
So-
nice to know.
Yeah.
Can you give
Okay,
that
I'll
tomorrow?
sort that, yes.
Who's, I got a question, so whose property is up there on the Quail Loop? I don't even know if anybody owns that, is that Horpedal's old property? On the one corner, kitty corner from Sosie's old house, there's that car sitting there by itself. I went up and drove around that loop today on my own,
Okay, I believe
just,
that.
but there's this car like sitting there all by itself, I don't,
I believe that is Chris Madison's. And
oh.
I believe, I'm
I
not
was,
sure.
cause I'm like, I never noticed that car last time
No,
I was up
no,
there, but it's
it's-
like, there's this, now all of a sudden there's this piece of
It's,
crap car
it's,
sitting there.
and that
I have
is
10
true.
years.
Yeah, that is true. But that's what I believe that it's Chris Madison's. So, and he says that property is Joel Sosie's.
I thought that sold, but maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think it was either, but okay.
That was
Yeah.
sold, the car the land that car was on, Chappie bought it down there, on 3rd Street, he grew vegetables on there, that was in there, then it got moved to the corner, because I saw it today.
Yeah, I did too, and I didn't notice it, like I said, I was just curious, I'm like, don't tell me somebody's starting another junkyard up here or something.
No, yeah.
Just thought I'd ask, 'cause, yeah.
I mean, that's even like, you could say Eric Land's property, really, Washington state law says that has to be confined in a fenced property, not visible to the public.
That's all farm equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
farm scrap, I mean, there's a lot all over the country, there's a lot.
Well, okay, letters have been written, conversations have been done with the different people, yes. So, it's
I
frustrating.
know it's hard, I mean, I'm
It's
still
frustrating.
learning, I read every day, and as I say, my gun's half loaded, so.
Yeah, and we do have, the ordinances to, halfway support, but it's the follow-through of the, enforcement of the law part, I don't know, to help support the town. You know,
I
if
think,
they
you
don't
know-
wanna touch it, that kind of leaves us, but if
If you-
you've got if you've got a gentleman that will help,
There's several
that would
people,
be
you know,
great.
cause the price of scrap is so high, there's several people
Mhm.
that will do, cause I've talked to them, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the town classing them as a nuisance
Mm-hmm.
property, and especially on public roads. You have to be tagged to be on a public road.
Yeah.
There's
And you
vehicles
can
on
fine
public
the
land
people
everywhere.
according to the nuisance ordinance. You can fine those people for not.
I know, I read that in the ordinance,
vehicles.
you can find them, you
Mm-hmm.
know, apart from that, is give them warnings, a week warning, 2 week.
So is that the process, is, okay, so we warn them, they've probably all been warned by now, I'm assuming, maybe I'm wrong. So, we give them a fine, and then if they don't pay it after so many days, can we just have somebody come in and take their stuff?
Well, Larry used to
And-
do it, the other man didn't, he
Yeah,
put an X on them gone.
Well, I know, but this is
And-
different times
Yes,
now,
the
too.
owner's expense, the property owner's expense, so that's kinda.
I see.
You can have it removed
They
and
should
bill the
have,
property
they
owner.
shouldn't have.
Get
And he
your,
got in trouble.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mike, make sure that you read, where
Yeah,
it
that's-
says lien of process or the, penalty of your ordinances. And that will, help clear up some of that question.
I can send you some of that if you recall, I got it.
But we
all
gotta
down
work
on
with
computer.
our.
I just gotta do a lot more reading, but I just thought.
I've been reading it
I was
for
trying to
about
cut the
last
reading
week.
in half, but that's not working.
There's also, cleanup, there's a cleanup restitution,
Yeah, right, yeah.
restitution payment, you know, when you do this,
Mm-hmm.
well, we'll bring money back into the town.
Learn to read first.
Yeah. You weren't supposed to hear that. Okay, so anything else?
No, no, fine, thank you.
Okay. Open that up with the, audience if they have, any concerns or comments.
I wanted to ask, where are you advertising for this person who does the code keeps?
The
track?
code enforcement?
Yeah,
It's
code,
on the bulletin board, it's in the window, it's in the journal.
okay.
Oh,
How much does it pay?
It's, minimum wage, starting minimum wage.
$14.49?
$14.49.
Yep, it's $14.49. And hours will be flexible to fulfill 20 hours per week. Just
I thought the wage went up to $16.50 this year.
Oh,
It went up to
$14.49.
$14.49.
Yep.
Okay,
It's higher in places like Seattle and stuff, and like, yeah, state
yeah,
lines.
that's, Washington State,
Yeah.
so.
If nobody has anything else, I make a motion to adjourn.
Dang it, Mayor, I'll second it.
Okay, motion
Thank you,
to
my dear.
adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.